Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. The channel where I like to show the properties for sale in the Italian market. Probably the only channel that is showing you, anyway, properties around Italy for sale. Obviously, not going by person, but simply going through the web, through Idealista.it, and I check always the best properties for sale. Let's say lowest price, inexpensive properties. But so in the beautiful Italy, in one of the 20 regions of Italy. Okay, my friends, so let's start. And in today's video, I bring you back, because has been a while that I haven't covered videos in this region. But so, my friends, I bring you back to Sicily. All right, so in the beautiful Sicily, where I know anyway a lot of people around the world are looking for properties for sale. And today I want to introduce you a very, very interesting one. So, Sicily, Catania Province, and we are in a town called Giarre. Now, what do we have to know about Giarre? That Giarre is one of these towns that is in between 20 and 30,000 inhabitants. So, up to 1 month ago, this town wasn't in the list of the 7% tax regime, but now, because the government extended this limit up to 30,000 inhabitants, so Giarre, because Giarre is 27,000 inhabitants, so also Giarre now goes under the 7% taxation. And I find Giarre a very, very interesting town for many reasons. First of all, because it's a town on the sea. Second, because we are in the beautiful Catania province. Third, also because we are very close to Taormina and Giardini Naxos, the Naxos Garden, one of the most beautiful places in Sicily. And also, anyway, we have a motorway, we have railway. So this is all we have to know. Catania as an airport. Many, many things to know about this town. I think I will focus in this area. Obviously, properties are not extremely low, but let's see. Now, this property that I'm showing you today is a 4-room flat for sale in Via Luigi Settembrini 53. We are in Giarre Center. Okay, we are not really in Giarre Center, but we are in Giarre. The asking price is 49,000 euro, which is very, very low if we consider the area, anyway, and if we consider the condition of the property itself. Then we are talking about a quite spacious property, because it is 120 square meters, so around 1,300 square feet, 4 rooms, all right, 2 bathrooms. Let me mention already now that we have 2 bathrooms, and is a second floor without lift. Now, a second floor without lift is not a really big problem, really a big problem, obviously, but low, high buildings, let's say generally up to 2, 3 floors in Italy, don't have lift. But so this is a second floor without lift. Here they are saying with sea views, but from the pictures in the ad is not showing any sea view. All I can tell you from now is that we have this beautiful terrace here. Is an attic floor, all right. And so we start from this beautiful view that anyway we have from this lovely terrace. Okay, my friends, after this introduction, let's go here on the map of Italy. So here I bring you straight away to Sicily. I don't need to zoom in more to show you where Sicily is. Now let's just focus where the property for sale is. Now, as I said, we are in between Catania and Taormina. Beautiful Taormina, the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful destination in Sicily. Then we are also close to Giardini Naxos, which is another very interesting attraction in Sicily. And then we also have Mount Etna, the volcano, okay, but we are not very, very close. We are in a very safe area. And anyway, Etna volcano is very well known to not cause damages. Anyway, historically never caused for the type of volcano, for the type of explosions. Anyway, it's more an attraction. There's a lot of tourists going to Parco dell'Etna. Okay, let's zoom in a bit more. 1 second here. So basically, here we are in the town of Giarre. Now, Giarre has a port. Okay. So we are not extremely close to the seaside, but I'd say in a walkable distance, maybe 15, 20 minutes by walk, no more. We are already on the sea. What else I can say about Giarre? I already said that anyway, we have a railway connecting Messina to Catania and then Syracuse. All right. So, for example, from Catania, landing to the airport in Catania, possible to take the train and then coming here to Giarre by train. Anyway, this town, big enough, 26,000 inhabitants, it has all type of services that we might need. I see a hospital, I see railway, I see pharmacies, banks, grocery shops, and all type of things that we might need anyway in a medium-sized town. Let's say medium-sized town for me goes from, let's say, 10,000 up to 50,000 inhabitants, all right, even 60, 70,000. Anyway, all type of services that we might need. That's where the property is, but we'll go back later anyway, when I'm going to show you anyway the distances from the main locations around the house here, and also a bit of Google Street View. Okay, let's go finally back to the property and let's start investigating all we have to know about this property. Now, before I go and read the description, my friends, put like and subscribe if you like this type of video. It's highly appreciated anyway, and it helps my channel to grow. All right, so let's read the description. Attic space for sale in Giarre, Via Luigi Settembrini, in a well-served and highly traveled area of the municipality of Giarre. Precisely in Via Luigi Settembrini, a real estate unit is offered for sale. Located on the second floor, so is a top floor without lift, without elevator, of a condominium building. Yes, anyway, we are talking about a flat, all right? So it's not an independent house, it's not terraced, it's not semi-detached, but anyway, in a small condominium building. The property consists of a regularly registered attic room. Now, this is very, very important, okay? So that the property anyway is registered as an attic, but as a livable space, and is internally composed as follows. Entrance to a large open space, including a living room and a kitchenette. So we have a large open space, living room, dining area, and kitchenette. Laundry room adjacent to the living area. Hallways separating the living area from the sleeping area. Two good-sized bedrooms. Full bathroom with window. So basically we have two bedrooms, two bathrooms, a big open space livable as dining area and living room, plus a kitchenette, not very small, anyway, medium-sized kitchen. The internal distribution is functional and well organized. The rooms are characterized by good natural lighting thanks to the presence of openings to the outside. So the property has a big balcony plus the terrace that we also saw and windows. But anyway, so we have double exposure, we have a lovely terrace and a decent sized balcony. The property is completed by side balcony, accessible from the living area, panoramic terrace with sea Etna exposure. So we have a lovely terrace with sea Etna exposure. So it's a never boring view, never boring panorama. Usable for recreational uses. The property is in good general maintenance condition and represents an interesting housing solution for residential use or investment. For me, I would go as a residential use because it's really, really lovely. It's a really, really lovely apartment. In particular, anyway, in a very good condition. Actually, let's check first of all two things. First, the price per square meter, which for me in this area under 500 euro, so we are talking about 408 euro per square meter, for me is a very good value. All right, extremely good. 20 euro a month, the condominium fees, which is simply nothing. So we are talking about 240 euro a year. So anyway, I consider nothing. 240 euro a year, even 250, 300 euro a year. The problem is when condominium fees are over 500, over 1,000 euro a year. And let's start as well from the floor map, okay, simply to let you understand the property. So basically here on the top left, we have the stairs where we have the landing area, and then we enter in this big living space dining area. All right. So then we have a window on the left from the living space. All right. And then at the very end, at the bottom of the living area, we have access to the big balcony. Then let's go back to the top here, close from the main entrance on the left, we enter into the kitchen, all right, where from the kitchen we have access to the terrace. Then we have the first bathroom here from the kitchen, and we also have access to the terrace. Then we go back to the living area and we enter in this small hall where we have access to the two bedrooms, one bedroom with access to the balcony, another bedroom with the window facing the terrace, and then we have the second bathroom with another window facing the terrace. So all the rooms have windows or balconies, which is amazing. Okay, let's go finally to the pictures of the property. Now, there are not so many pictures, but anyway, you will judge yourself because simply, anyway, I want to show you the beauty of this attic flat only on the second floor. Again, as we see as well by the picture, we are not very, very high. So anyway, we have a lovely terrace, quite spacious, with a sink, not covered, not fully covered, but anyway, we have a big umbrella here. Anyway, lovely view. We have simply a lovely view with beautiful nature, palms, trees. I don't know if the sea view, because they say that there is sea view, but and Etna views, but we don't see from here. But anyway, we see a lovely terrace space with this window here. This is probably the window of one of the two bedrooms. Okay. Then we have the gas boiler. The house is provided with heating system. We have a new modern building, so it's not an old construction. So we have a ground floor, a first floor, and then we have the attic floor where the property is. Okay, we have a lovely entrance here. All right. Okay, my friends. So here we are probably the view here is from the balcony. So from the balcony we can see far away Etna. Okay, this is Mount Etna. And then opposite direction on the left we have the sea direction. So they're not showing, probably I don't think it's possible to, I don't think it's a house with sea view. What I like is that we don't have any high building anyway in front of the house. That means that you have a full view, at least 180 degrees of the area in front of the house. Beautiful Sicily. Okay, my friends, so here we are in the big living area with dining table, all right? So basically we have a window on the right and we have access to the balcony at the very end. of the room here. Okay, so it's a quite spacious. Now here, let's see if they have more pictures, but anyway, they have the dining area here. Here, I'd say we are just, who took the picture has the entrance door behind. Then from the left, I think where the television is, we have a door. Here, actually, I see a door where basically we have access to the sleeping area. All right. Where there is a little hall, the two bedrooms, and the one bathroom. Anyway, I let you judge yourself because anyway, I see that the property is not in need of renovation at all. So basically, everything looks in a very good order. We also have a fireplace, which is also very, very interesting. Maybe I won't use it that much, but why not? Sometimes in the winter. Okay, so let's keep moving and let's have a look to the following picture. Anyway, in the center of the room, the ceiling is okay because it's an attic. We have to say that anyway. Obviously, the lower part of the ceiling is not very, very high. Even if here where we have the window, we can stand because anyway, they made space. There is a kind of space through the roof. Obviously, because it's an attic, the lower part of the roof is not very, very high, but anyway, most of the space is quite usable. Let's say it's only a tiny part that has the lowest height of the ceiling. We see that anyway, in the center of the room, the ceiling is very high. Okay, now we are in the kitchen. They say it's a kitchenette. Now, for me, this is a medium-sized kitchen. Okay, it's not, doesn't look like an eating kitchen. We don't see, for example, we don't see a table here. Anyway, I don't know if it's possible to manage a small table. All I can say is that from the kitchen, we have access to the terrace where it's possible, for example, to enjoy and dine outdoor anytime we want, in particular because in Sicily, the weather, let's say, is quite good. So you have the winter, which is a very short season, even if, anyway, it's raining, the winter, it's winter season, not as cold as maybe in other parts of Europe. But anyway, we have winter season, even in Sicily. The summer lasts much longer. Okay. All right, here we are in the hall where we have access to the two bedrooms and the bathroom. Now here I want to point the accent a bit on the doors, which are all good quality, the floor tiles, all good quality. I'd say the door here in front of who took the picture is the bathroom. Then here on the right, we have one of the two bedrooms. This one on the left is the door leading to the hall. And behind, we have the master bedroom. And so here we are into the master bedroom. And as we see, anyway, is a spacious room, very spacious room with access to the balcony. All right. It seems like all the rooms have an air conditioning system. So consider that it's an attic, so extremely important to have um, air conditioning system, in particular during the winter, during the summery months, during the hot hours of the day. But anyway, here we have a lovely bedroom, simply. All I can say, I don't think they're selling the house furnished. Here, they're not saying anything. Maybe who wants to contact the seller, so this agency, Goldwell Banker, anyway, can contact and ask. I'm sure they speak in English. All right, here we have the second bedroom, which is a tiny bit smaller, here used as a single room. Anyway, for 49,000 euro, I'd say this property, spacious enough. Again, let's see, I want to understand, is 120 square meters. So we are talking about 1,300 square feet. Here from this bedroom, we have a window that is facing the terrace. This is the very first window we saw in the first picture of the terrace. Anyway, we have a spacious bedroom, not very spacious, let's say medium size, possible to make a double bed here. I see big wardrobe, big pieces of furniture, which are taking a lot of space, but overall, anyway, could be used as a studio, as a hobby room, not necessary, or as a guest room. Okay, my friends, here we are in the one of the two bathrooms. All right. I think this is the bathroom which we access from the small hall from the sleeping area, let's say. Then no point to say that the electrical system, heating system is everything in a good order. All right. Okay, so we have a lovely bathroom, very well finished and in a very good condition. Then on the right, we have a window facing the terrace. All right. What else I can say? Anyway, bathroom overall in a good condition. This is still the same bathroom. We're in the same bathroom. And here we have the window, anyway, facing the terrace. All right. We have bath tube here that can also be used as a shower. Anyway, I see very nice bathroom, decent, clean, tidy. All right, and here we are, let's say, in the service bathroom, which is the one that we enter from the kitchen, all right, and also has access to the terrace. Use it more as a laundrette, a service bathroom, because anyway, we have the washing machine, but we have shower, modern bathroom. Anyway, my friends, I think it's a bargain, this property for 49,000 euro with a beautiful view here. Basically, we have a massive view. All right, here, basically, we see that this is the window of the bedroom. Then we have here the access to the balcony from the living space. We see two air conditioners. All right, so the house is provided with air conditioners in all the house. I'd say here in the wintry months to heat the house, it won't be expensive at all. Anyway, we have a spacious balcony with also a bench here. I always like to see benches on balcony. And anyway, so we have the option to go or for the balcony or for the terrace with lovely view again. And this is the property. And this, okay, here they're showing the streets are look in a good condition. We have private gate here. I think there is one, two, three, four, five, and six properties in this house. So that's why there's not big maintenance, because we are not talking about a very big property, very big building. And then, okay, from here I can see on the left of the picture the sea view. Probably from the terrace now, this is the house for sale. And here we have the balcony, which is not facing the sea, but from the terrace, which is on the other side of the roof of the attic, then that's pointing to the seaside direction. So we probably have also the seaside. Pity that when a house has the seaside, when a house has the seaside view, they should show that straight away in the picture. So if they're not showing, maybe there's not, but okay, here we are back to the floor map. All right, my friends, so let's go here to Google Maps. As usual, when we are at this stage of the video, that's when I show you anyway how far we are from the main locations around the property. Now, I will start from Catania, simply to understand how far we are from the main city, the capital of the province, and also, anyway, the town with airport. So basically, we can commute from Catania even by taxi, for example, if we want to commute to Giarre, 46 minutes. Consider that 46 minutes by taxi could be around 100 euro in Italy. So let's say from Catania Airport, if we want to commute to Giarre, here to the property without taking buses or train, could be 120 euro, according to the Italian prices of the taxis for 45 minutes driving, all right, which is for me the average all over Europe, let's say. Okay, 46 minutes and we are in Catania. Then I want to check as well, basically, by train. We can commute by train in 1 hour and 16 minutes, 1 hour and 8 minutes, 1 hour, and we have nearly a train every half an hour, every hour. There are trains going from Catania to Giarre direction. All right. So as we see, we are quite close to Catania. Let's say less than 1 hour. Let's see, for example, if we want to commute to Taormina. Taormina, one of the most beautiful seaside destination, touristic destination in Sicily and in Italy. Okay, now to reach Taormina takes 34 minutes by car, and I think we can also commute probably by train. So we have a train that leaves now, for example, now is 10:21 sharp where I am, and there is a train that takes 1 hour and 31 minutes. Probably there are stops. Let's see. There are 5 stops, takes 26 minutes. Then we have to walk. Okay. So, for example, from Taormina, Giardini Naxo station, then to reach Taormina takes 26 minutes by walk. So, consider also that, anyway, Taormina station is not exactly in Taormina town. All right, also to understand. So basically, the journey is only 26 minutes. What it takes a lot of time is by walk from the property to the train station and from Taormina train station to Taormina center. That's where it takes 20-30 minutes by walk in one place, 20-30 minutes by walk another one. But then we also have buses. Anyway, there are buses transportation that might bring you, anyway, closer to Taormina. Anyway, I'd say that these are the two main locations that I wanted to point. For example, I want to understand to go by walk. Then anyway, we have grocery shops, as I said, we have all time. We even have McDonald's, why not? Time to time. I think McDonald's quality in Italy is better than other places where I've been. I go time to time when I go to Barletta. Why not? All right, let me see now. I only want to check to go to the nearest beach now. Here we have many, all the area anyway. We have beaches. I just want to pick this one, Spiaggia di Riposto. Let's see, Spiaggia di Riposto. Okay, let's see. By car takes 9 minutes. All right, and by walk. Okay, by walk takes 50 minutes, 48, 50 minutes to reach, which is not really a long distance. Okay, consider that anyway you can enjoy simply a walk. All right, so by car takes only 9 minutes, but anyway, by walk It's 3 kilometers from the seaside. Now, I consider even good to not be extremely close to the seaside, also because the problems that face the coast in particular this winter with the storms. So I'd say not too close to the sea can be a good option if you like Sicily, but 3 kilometers anyway is a very short distance. All right, my friends, so this is all we have to know about the main distances. And now let's try to do a bit of Google Street View simply to understand the area. Okay, so basically here we have all type of shops. We have a grocery shops, pasticceria where you can buy pastries and sweets, desserts, flower shop, rigattiere. So here they're selling used stuff. Anyway, we have shops around. I also see some houses have swimming pools in the area. Obviously, houses with swimming pools are more expensive. Okay, my friends, so this is the street where the property is. I'd say is a lovely area, plenty of parking space in case you go by car, and so that's where the property is. So let's try to go here. So from here we see the balcony. Okay, we have this lovely balcony. Let's see if we can keep driving and understand where the terrace is. Okay, so from here, I don't see the terrace. I thought would have been here in this area. Quite interesting. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see, 1 second. From this side, I don't see any terrace. Let's try to inspect. Okay. I don't see neither from this side, but anyway, they show the picture of the terrace. Let's try to just drive a bit through. So in this direction, we have the sea. Okay, I want to try to go back. Anyway, my friends, let me know what you think. We have a huge palm here. Let me know what you think about this property for sale here for 49,000 euro. I consider anyway a property in a very good condition. Okay. Now let's see. I want to understand here on the right there should be the bedroom. All right. Anyway, I'm sure anyway because they show the picture of the okay, all right. From here I can see just on the left hand side of the palm. Then here I see the terrace. Okay, perfect. Simply to understand anyway the property. Now I don't think we have the sea view because the sea looks like is in this direction and we have the roof here. But anyway, uh, look, nobody can see on the terrace here. Anyway, I consider an interesting property for 49,000 euro for the location, for the condition of the property, for the 2 bathrooms, town with railway, not far from Catania, 49,000 euro. Maybe try even to negotiate. I see hard. Maybe this type of property is already sold. I don't know. I don't contact. I'm not, again, a realtor, an estate agent. I simply like to show what is for sale in Italy. So don't blame me if the house is already sold. Okay, my friends. I wish you a lovely day, and I'll see you here on Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel for another property for sale tomorrow, here on Italy, a Place to Love. Bye.